few lodgings. Just a double bed.
Who wants the bounty?
How about the flop house? It has plenty of spare beds.
Great! We can bung with 10 other people and pray none of them have sticky fingers.
My birthday, you deserve
Better
to
off
come
sleeping in the gutter than that
Variant
to
thing with her wig.
When I was a child, Father sent me to Sharess's caress to deliver messages. How was I to know what went on behind its closed doors?
Birthday boy's just nervous, but don't worry.
Open your mind to new sense of all manner of course.
What's plain to you wasn't so plain to Minnie.
Minnie lays. A weary traveller, battered and bruised, you come for sustenance, no, decadence. A mien cool as ice, yet eyes burning hot. Oh yes, I know your bliss. A sturdy dwarf, a leather whip, she gives, you receive. Or have I misjudged you? Of course you wouldn't. Who can resist the pleasure of the strap once leather meets flesh? It's Fionn you seek, our stern librarian. She isn't here today, alas. Your penance must wait. Well, we've other ways to fill your void. A drink for one, a pair of drow for another. Choose your sin. Swishing. I'm no fortune teller. If I had a crystal ball, I promise I'd already have consulted it. Truth is, Fionn's gone well missing. And my hands may be skillful, but they were not made to turn every last stone she might be hiding behind. To service is my calling, not to be served. But I'd be a fool to say no. The girl kept my coffers near overflowing. 2 flights up, then turn right, and right again. That's Fionn's pleasure room, Elminster's library. Here, take the key.
Someone with all the power of the...
Damn, Hoots! That new batch burns stronger than a pit fiend's fist.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Take it however you want. But I'll be having my usual from now on. Oh. It's Raphael's favorite misadventurer. You've put me out of pocket, you know. Raphael bet me 5 soul coins you'd reach the city in one piece. He rented a room upstairs in the hope that you'd drop by. He wants to help you save the world. What else? Take your time. Have a drink. Sample the goods. Go see him when you're feeling refreshed.
Was that human boy insisting on playing his acoustic version of High House of Wonders again? A scant few customers today. This might end up being the first big meal as I end with my hand alone for company. That blacksmith was paying me to use the clamping device.
You have the key to my home.
Enjoy the fiddling. Throw a few coins our way and let us play on into the night.
Give it a good rumple.
The pangs of warrior cast often over Madame and Myra nowadays. Do you think we've done something wrong?
We are not in trouble, sister. Remember our vow to keep one another safe. When the music stops, you and I, we will continue dancing.
I barely got a moment's sleep last night. And no, not in the good way.
Was that human boy insisting on playing his acoustic lute version of High House of Wonders again?
You can stare as much as you like.
A new face? Looking for another chapter of dirty lore for your biography?
You have but to ask, and we can grant you a moment of pleasure. Don't be shy.
I used to work as a courtesan back home, and my sister as an artisanal masseuse. But men are treated like dogs by the Underdark's matriarchs, so we fled.
We found surfacers craved the body of a drow like a drug. Life is easy in our line of work. Life is prosperous. I'm much happier kissing the many lips of the surface than tending a field or manning a shop.
I'd have to restrain myself far more than any play bindings do if I worked in another field. This is a place where I can be myself boundlessly. There are so many who come to me speaking of a fixation that no one else has ever been able to share with them, and never will again. A once-in-a-lifetime moment of passion. Every day. What could be better? Don't you want to try it? Trust me, you don't want to miss my signature Mesobaranzan love trick. A scant few customers today. This might end up being the first day in years I end with my hand alone for company.
You keep scaring your regulars off.
That blacksmith was paying me to use the clamping device.
Another case closed, another bottle open. Huzzah to Valeria! Hang on a tick. I recognize that face. You were talking to Yanis after I left the temple. I'll bet she's put you up to something. Why must you busybodies insist on interrupting a perfectly good night? I know that look. You remind me of Devella. Fine. If you doubt my conclusions, out with it. What have you found? While that is startling, it still doesn't disprove my theory that Brilgor killed Father Lorgan, does it? That's what you need if you want to change my mind. Hard evidence. A reason, too, if you're at it. Why was Lorgan killed? That's quite the discovery. Doesn't tell me everything, though. Why was Lorgan killed? Could doesn't quite cut it here, I'm afraid. I need a solid, provable motive. Come back when you've got some real evidence.
Librarian does this thing without
Two doses.
If you had any bargaining chips, they would rather put it on into the pasture. I will pay any toll, serve any foul drink, name the price. Is there anything stubborn?
So distracted recently. Such fog coursing through my brain.
Look at me. You need only think of me.
Gortash is being named Archduke. Time to pay Worm's Rock a visit.
Tell me, am I beautiful?
More than beautiful. You are the aurora stretched across the north skies. You are the golden dunes swept across the Callan. You are the fruit of the forbidden palm, soft on my skin, sweet on my tongue. You are my sin and salvation.
Your parasite stirs, and you gaze at the nymph through the flaming fist's hungry eyes. Your muscles shiver with her longing. Your skin burns with her heat.
What's wrong, Jara?
What are you? Wait. I know you.
I don't understand. What's...
Your face. The Absolute has shown me.
Jara, what's going on? Who's this man?
Your head screams in agony. Change has come. Pustules boiling beneath your skin, your bones twisting, your flesh rupturing. And suddenly, silence.
What's happening?
My path be true.
I won't give in. Hope your soul is in good health.
Let's spill some blood. Let's move.
Coming through.
How delicious.
How about the flop house? It has plenty of spare beds.
Have a lot on my mind and, well, in it.
Hells. I'd heard tales of mind flayers. Talons sharp as daggers and tentacles yet more fearsome. But no tale did justice to its ethereal beauty. It floats like a butterfly. Its blood shimmers like silver. How could I help it? I don't regret its death. But I marvel that such a work of art could ever live.
Her gaze intensifies. Your breath quickens and your heart skips a beat. The woman's senses are heightened and her fire stoked. The mind flayer is no mere curiosity, but an object of desire.
Why should I deny it? My urge is as natural as the grape upon the vine. But perhaps there are other flavors that might satisfy my palate. Not sex. Something far more intoxicating. Rapture. Close your eyes and listen.
You see only darkness. Her voice shines through it, warmer than the sun, yet cooler than night.
The all-being. Here, there is no suffering. Here, you want for nothing. Here, you are anything. You have one word. Tell me, what will you be? You are more than contented. You are at total peace. Your belly is full, your mind rested, your eyes bright, No more will you hear the clang of steel on steel. No more will you fear the cry of a wolf, the growl of an ogre. You are warm. You are safe.
Your flesh shivers, your heart bursts. True ecstasy for one fleeting moment.
Open your eyes. I'll remember you, and you'll remember me.
Is there anything duller? I much prefer a cat.
You must hear me, devil. I will do whatever it takes. Give you anything you ask.
There is only one thing in this world that I desire. You do not have it, and you never will.
The Kithrak? What deal would he make with this devil?
You must help me, Raphael. For the sake of my people.
Hush now, Voss. These guests may not know it yet, but they want the same thing that you do. And unlike you, they have something of value to offer in return.
Lae'zel, Talak Magir. The devil holds the key to freeing the Gith people. Right here, right now. You could seal our fate. Whatever you discuss with this devil, I must hear of it. Find me below in the tap room, once you're loosed from his claws.
I'm glad you came. Not to my door, not yet, but to the final reckoning. One more thing before we begin, though.
For the first time since the Nautiloid, your mind is clear. It's unsettling.
I gave you back your privacy by shutting that illithid in your pocket out of your mind. It can't hear us. I brought you here because I'm true to my word, and I can make all of this tadpole business go away, which means you and your lovely friends can remain blessedly free of tentacles. Let us speak plain. I'll admit, you've impressed me. I wasn't sure you'd make it this far, but no matter how far you come, you're still on the road to ruin. A road that leads directly to a confrontation with the Elder Brain. At best, it will kill you and everyone else in this city. At worst, it will assimilate you, and you won't have enough free will left to even wish you were dead. You have the key to destroying it in the palm of your hand, though. Very perceptive. I can give you the means to break him free.
Speak, devil. We're listening.
I suppose you'd rather suck on the Emperor's tentacles till the end of your days? Orpheus is your only hope of surviving this horror show without devolving into an illithid. To you, he will be a friend. After all, you're at war with an elder brain. If I'd realized you were so gullible, I'd have tricked you into selling your soul for a pocketful of beans when we first met. To the Emperor, you are nothing more than a beast of burden, one that will transport it to the Elder Brain. An ox requires food, and the occasional beating to keep it moving. You are simpler. The Emperor's words serve as both carrot and stick.
Perhaps it is true that Orpheus would ally with you against the Elder Brain. But if he proves uncooperative once free, you may have to kill him.
The Orphic Hammer. An artifact capable of shattering the chains that hold Prince Orpheus is held securely in my House of Hope, even now. Isn't it just? And it's even more convenient that you can give me exactly what I want in return. Power. You free Orpheus, and in doing so save the city, the Sword Coast, perhaps the whole world, and your own precious skin too. And you give me the crown that dominates the Elder Brain. And you, Lae'zel of Kalir, want to free the Forgotten Prince, do you not?
I want nothing more.
Then it is settled, is it not? A crown for a hammer. A bargain of a lifetime, Lae'zel of Kalir. I have craved it ever since the arch-wizard Karsus created it, long centuries ago, and brought doom to the Empire of Netheril. That was the great age of humanity, and Netheril's flying sky cities were the apex of civilization. I was there the day it all fell apart. Entire cities plummeted from the sky like angels with broken wings. The screams, oh, the screams. Hundreds of thousands of people watching in horror as the ground came up to meet them. It was not a happy meeting, and Karsus was responsible. Not driven by malice, but by ambition. He forged a crown imbued with all the powers of magic. A crown that would make any who wore it a god. Men cannot contain so much power. The crown destroyed its creator, and his empire fell with him. Karsus's folly, the bards and scholars call it. I call it hope. The hope of creating a better world, and the perils of unchecked hubris. I knew then that the folly of mortals could be the triumph of devils, and that I could use that crown to unite the Nine under one Archdevil Supreme. Me. I am no mortal, and I do not fail. The archdevil Mephistopheles snatched up the crown and squirreled it away in one of his vaults. He's not more than a frigid archivist. So much power and potential kept inert. He made a miracle into a museum piece. I raged. But only for a decade or so. Then I waited, ever watching for more than 1,000 years, for a mistake, a mishap, a misadventure. And these chosen, who have caused you so much trouble accidentally, did me a favor. They brought the crown back into play. Through the aid of a diabolist, somebody capable of opening a portal to the Hells, deep in the Hells. They must have raided Mephistopheles' vault. Impressive, I must admit. But they'll be dead soon. If you don't kill them, the Elder Brain will. It doesn't have feelings in the way you'd understand them. But it seems rather angry. It is inevitable. When you destroy the brain, and you will because you must, the crown will be yours for the taking. And when that moment comes, you give the crown to me. In exchange, I give you the hammer now.
A simple transaction, it seems, but it's more than that. He's offering you an alternative to the mind flayer in your head. Take Raphael's deal and you could free Orpheus. With Orpheus free, you would have no need to rely on the Emperor. But there's no guarantee that Orpheus would be on your side. And if you take the deal, you'll have to fulfill it. You'll have to deliver the crown of Carsus to the devil himself. He claims his ambition is to unite the Hells, but can he be trusted to stop there? Do you trust him more than you trust the Emperor?
Skvar! We should do as the devil asks. The Prince of the Comet must rise again.
How short-sighted. Much better to put it into the right hands. Hands that will ensure it is removed from this world. And it's the only way you can ensure that you remain part of this world. I won't stop you. But time is running out. So don't stay away for long. If you see reason, I'll be here, waiting. Right up to the moment the world ends.
The means to loosing the Prince of the Comet was within our grasp, and you refused it. Why? I wanted to follow the open valley, the easy way out. You chose the brambled path. I'm annoyed by it. And I admire you for it. We must speak with Voss. Then we find our way to Raphael's House of Hope. We'll take the Orphic Hammer and use it to smash the true heir's bonds. Yisk Githkar Tafki Crashet. The Githyanki will be free.
There you are. I thought I'd lost you. Something was blocking me from hearing your thoughts. Raphael. Well, thank you for your honesty. Of course, I should have known the devil would come sniffing. The stench of impending chaos is irresistible to them. And what did he want with you? Giving a devil what he wants sounds like a brilliant idea. And what did he offer you in return for bringing it to him? I am glad you had the sense to turn him down, but it certainly does matter. Anything that threatens our alliance threatens our chances of defeating the Elder Brain. So I ask you again, what were the terms of the deal he offered you? An horrendous deal. Imagine a crown of sufficient power to dominate an Elder Brain atop a devil's head. You would be trading one apocalyptic event for another. Thank you for telling me, and for rejecting him. And now, we must be doubly on our guard. The devil is like a cockroach. No matter what you do to it, it will always come back. I doubt this will be the last time you are approached. I trust that you will continue to remember who is really on your side. Without my protection, you cannot defeat the Elder Brain. You cannot even get close to it, no matter what the devil whispers in your ear.
Hey! You paid Raphael a visit.
Oh,
well, but you're so efficient. Why not have a little fun?
Oh! A blast straight to the heart. Come here. I'm not going to start an argument. I just want to know why you turned the boss down. Cheeky. We might be in a brothel, but I'm not that kind of gal. You should reconsider, though. The boss might be a devil, but he'll treat you more honestly than anyone else in the city. Plenty. But right now, I have one job. You. I'm talking to you openly, mortal to mortal. And I'm begging you to sign the contract. If the brain wins, the Illithid Empire returns and worlds you've never even dreamed of will die. Raphael can stop it. He wants to. And he knows how. You're the key. You always have been. He's a devil. It's his nature. He needs to get his due. I won't pretend he's an altruist, but he's looked at the balance sheet. No world, no souls. And it's hard to get leverage on an Illithid. They make terrible clients. You did. But that's fine. There's still time. Take your time. Have a drink. Sample the goods. Go see him when you're feeling refreshed.
The blade of frontier. Always need to be the center of attention.
Anything for Flophouse. I don't fight to be flattered, Lae'zel. I fight to save
We can bond
lives.
with 10 other people and pray none of them have sticky fingers. You'd be better off sleeping in the gutter than that den of iniquity.
Mate, it's your birthday. You deserve to cut loose.
Somewhere warm and
Librarian does this thing with her.
Oh, save my love.
Useful as the hammer would have been, I'm relieved we're not in the devil's debt. Once his kind has you under their thumb, they won't ever let you go. I won't lie. The thought hardly fills me with glee. Even with my newfound advantages, he's still an incredibly powerful vampire. But he's arrogant, too. If he does hear I'm back, he'll try to take me and expose himself in the process. Then I'll be able to strike. Neither will I, darling. At least I hope you'll come along for the show. But regardless, the plan is simple. Find him, stop him from gaining almighty power, and then really enjoy killing him.
There is no deal with the devil that I would willingly partake in. Declining Raphael showed great wisdom. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well, and Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
Raphael thought he could outsmart us, but there are other ways to get the Orphic Hammer, guaranteed. We know he keeps it in the House of Hope. If we can find a Diabolist, they could help us make our way in.
Be honest. What do you think of the new look? one unexpected benefit of my training. Any novice knows how to source the right herbs and mixtures to alter one's hair. Typically reserved for disguises and subterfuge rather than self-discovery. But I don't live by Shah's rules any longer. I thought I knew who I was. But I was wrong. I do not belong to Shah. And I do not want to be adorned like one of her puppets any longer. The hair is just a gesture, true. But everything has a first step. Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now. I hope so. So long as I'm willing to stroll right into the Mother Superior's trap, they have no reason to not tell me where to go. Not quite. Above all else, protecting our base of operations in Baldur's Gate was the reason I had to surrender my memories to begin with. Or at least, that's what I was led to believe. We should look for someone to point me in the right direction. Otherwise, we'll have little recourse but to wander the whole city searching. I know what you mean. And under different circumstances, I'd like that too. But first things first, I'm afraid. Worm's Crossing is a choke point. If I wanted to intercept a new arrival, I'd find somewhere before the bridge, blend in amongst the crowds, and wait. Most people seeking entry to the city will be refugees. I'd look wherever they're gathering.
You made a good decision refusing that devil's contract. We'll speak more on this later, but suffice it to say for now, that crown is vital to our purpose here.
Raphael can beg for a deal all he wants. The crown will be ours. We will need every advantage to survive the battles that are to come. And my illithid parasite has already shown its worth. If this superior tadpole is capable of unlocking my mind's full potential, it is a tempting proposition. I am surprised you have not drawn on its power yourself. As you should. When I am stronger, we are stronger. I am not on edge. I am alert, as you should be too. Orin could be anywhere, could be anyone.
Despite her protestations to the contrary, it is clear that Minthara is afraid.
Her aim will be to erode our trust in one another. We cannot let that happen. We need to watch over each other, now more than ever. I do not want a devil to hold my fate in his hands any more than a god. I say we put the devil from our minds and trust in ourselves. If anyone should have the power of the crown, it should be us. Yes. I only know it through history books and hearsay. A city of murder and grief. It is already living up to the legend. From the still, dark waters of Lake Donegarten to the black academies of Tierbresh, it is a city of wonders and terror. But it is not my home anymore. If I were to return, I would be denied all of its wonders and shown only the terror. I am a daughter of Menzoberranzan's most ancient and powerful house, the Bainray. I lived a life of privilege and danger. My home was at the tallest point of Cuel Arzol, the place of the nobles, a plateau high above the city's sprawl. I enjoyed every luxury, whether harvested in the Underdark or stolen from the surface, and I survived my first assassination attempt while I still suckled at my mother's breast. I tasted her blood that day. She covered my body with her own, and a blade bit deep into her chest, almost puncturing her heart. When I came of age, she tried to take my life herself, and I gave her fresh scars to match those she earned protecting me. I expect so. If the world were to end, I think my mother would survive to rule over the ruins. She taught me to be resilient and to guard my heart from those who cannot be trusted, literally and figuratively. When I choose to let somebody close, I do not do so lightly. That gives a great depth of meaning to the bonds I do share.
Raphael must be raging we didn't take his deal. Luckily, his desperation made him careless. Did you hear what he said? The hammer's in his house of hope. If we wanted, we could steal it right out from under his nose. Granted, it wouldn't be easy. Devils guard their treasure by especially lethal means. We would need to find a diabolist. One worth their salt should be able to get us into that devil's lair. One last trip to Avernus. At least it'd be for a good reason, right?
The great devil grows sloppy. He makes his offer, but only after telling us where to find what we seek. The Orphic Hammer. I suppose we will have to see if this House of Hope is open to visitors. You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies, every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles. A kind way of saying, ye gods, I hope her dusty bones don't break at the first blow. Fear not for me. I will try my very best to keep up. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? Don't tell me which. Against all life experience, I will choose to assume the best.
You've got something to say?
I expected Baldur's Gate to be insipid, stale, wholly without merit. But it's got a vicious bite to it. Delightful.
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
Absolutely not. We've hit our quota for mangy strays.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you.
Keeping very well, I hope? Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. It fills me with a rage I can hardly contain. She's a formidable woman, my Aelin. But no one could escape such horrors unscathed. She's in my hands now, and I intend to help her through whatever's to come. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. We are your allies, for life. I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is next time he told I found love by the... He's gone now. But I suppose... Keeping very well, I hope?
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome.